Alright, so now that we're fully back, we've done the full metal panic thing. Now we're on to the seed stage, looks like, which means we're one step closer to getting to Athrun. The downside is I don't even care about Athrun, so it doesn't really work out for me. Regardless, let's continue on with this all. Is that we got 12, 13, we got a lot of stages left. Let's see, so an autoplay stage and a normal stage, but no real known bosses. Also, you can't use Kira or Athrun. Okay. Oh, a behemoth. Oh dear God, Kira takes down a behemoth on his own. That's just scary. At the theater ruins. It's the pink horror from Lacus's manor back on the plant, and I hear singing. She's definitely here. I'll decide what I do after I hear why she betrayed the plants. Thank you for bringing Mr. Pink back to me. I was certain you would find him. Lacus, what's the meaning of all this? You came here because you heard what happened, didn't you? Then it is true what they've said, that you provided assistance to an enemy spy? Why would you do that? I did not provide any assistance to any spy. All I did was grant Kira a new sword. Hmm? I felt he had need of it now, and that it would best serve its purpose in its hands. Kira? What are you talking about? Kira, he's dead? Because you killed him? Duh. Don't fret. Kira truly is still alive. You're lying. What kind of trick are you trying to pull, Lacus Klein? What you're saying is crazy. There's no way he could be alive. Reverend Malkiel found him and brought him to me. Kira told me that the two of you fought. Don't you believe what I'm telling you? Do you even believe what you've seen with your own eyes? On the battlefield, or back in the plant after you've been away for some time, haven't you noticed things are different? Lacus, what is it you believe in? What is it you are fighting for now? Is it for that medal you received? Or with your father's orders? Lacus! Because if that is so, you'll likely find yourself fighting Kira as his enemy again. And me as well. Will you declare me an enemy and gun me down, Athrun? Soldier of Zaft? I... There! It's Lacus Klein! You have our thanks, Athrun. What is this? Naturally, you would know your fiancé best. You've saved us time looking for Lacus Klein. Now please, step away from her. She's a fugitive accused of treason. We have orders to use lethal force if need be. Are you sure you want to protect her? Those orders can't be right. Gah! We've dealt with the assassins, Lady Lacus. We should get going. Who is? He's with the Klein faction. And Reverend Malkiel? He is able to depart safely. Then this is goodbye, Athrun. Thank you again for bringing Mr. Pink back to me. You'll find Kira on Earth. Why don't you have a talk with him? He is your friend after all. We're at the military base's hangar. Lacus said that I should talk to Kira. Kira, just what happened to you? I just had to go to Earth to find out, using the justice. Orb has yet to respond to our demand for the use of the mass driver. Uzari Nara Atha is not a man that is easily swayed. Because they're natural, they say. That's just not right, now is it? Now when everyone else is fighting, risking their lives against mankind's enemy. I wish you would have phrased it in such an extreme manner. We are not Blue Cosmos. Regardless, you are in a spot of trouble, aren't you? Then allow me to resolve the matter at hand. We're dealing with a sovereign nation. I find it rather difficult that the leader of Blue Cosmos would be able to get anywhere with them. It won't be like that. All we need is to have a good enough reason for the Alliance to send its troops into Orb. What do you mean? Like if a disaster were to occur within Orb itself, for example. Not something we would be involved in directly, of course. Let's just see how this turns out. Uh-oh, the Rock Highlands Bridge. The Alliance fleet has begun moving towards Orb. It appears as though they intend to deliver an ultimatum. So they're opting to persuade Orb with force rather than threats? The possibility is undeniable, but if the Alliance were to attack a neutral nation on Earth, it would surely tarnish their image. Furthermore, it would give Zaft just cause to denounce them. Even so, if they decide they want the mass driver enough despite the downside to seizing it, well, they must be planning on orbit to take action. If that happens, then the Alliance can claim whatever they want in the name of self-defense. Should the Alliance and Orb engage? Will Mythos step in? I'm afraid we haven't received any orders concerning the matter as of yet. I see. The Archangel will be a powerful ally to have on our side in the future, Bright, and they know just how much of a danger the gates pose. I know we'd be intervening in this world's affairs yet again, but don't you think it would be better for us to help them? Yes, I was thinking just the same thing. Captain Testarossa, we'll make our way to Orb and prepare an immediate response for the worst case scenario. I imagine that's what you were hoping for as well? You had me figured out, I see. As outsiders, we're more or less free to go wherever we like. But because of that, we're left wanting for allies. Just like the time the White Base had to descend into Xeon territory, eh? Ah, here he goes again, never knowing when to shut up. Surrounded by a swarm of Dops, the Gundam soaring through the sky. You even did a mid-air dock, just like our Getter Robos, didn't you? It's true that I fought with the Gundam in the sky. It even changed parts mid-air. We never did it at the same time. Oh well, close enough. It's really not. That's the point. And to classify, the Gundam's A and B parts can't fly on their own, like the Getter machines can. He's comparing the Gundam to Getter. Anyways, that's just funny. That's enough with the stories. All hands, begin making preparations. I'll send Master Sergeant Mao and 2 others to join you, Captain Bright. Are you sure? Yes, this is my decision. I find it too painful to simply hope for the best. Understood. I thank you for the support. No! No! It's Leonard Testarossa! No! Dear God! Well, at least that confirms Season 2 soon. Maruta Azrael is not to be taken lightly. I wonder how he managed to learn of our connection. Could that man have been contacting him from behind our backs? If that was so, then he would have simply met him directly. In any case, it appears Azrael has an interest in Orb's technology. I'm sure he wishes to do business, but he's put his naivety on display with how he's judged us. Currency is a simple way of giving tangible form to something that has value, but he seems to be unaware that not every individual can be persuaded by such things. Then should I reject his offer? No. Tell him that we accept. This may give us some insight as to what his true motives are. It also doubles as a way for Londo Bell to further increase their fighting strength. By joining with the Archangel, you mean? Yes, and we need for them to fight a plethora of enemies. What's Leonard's game on this? Dang, I drank water too fast. At Reverend Malkiel's church. That's a church? That's not a church. For now, the Alliance will not invade Orb, but the people are still in danger. A battle could easily erupt depending on how Orb responds. Does that mean that Orb has no choice but to comply? Wars spread so easily, but are so difficult to end. What about the other world force, the one that belonged to neither Zaft nor the Alliance? Before, I'd always thought there was a certain degree of justice to be found in this conflict. But now, with the Alliance pressuring a neutral nation like Orb and the Zaft forces I consider myself a part of making deals with terrorists, the days where you only had to live your life thinking about yourself have come to an end. Now you must consider what it is you ought to be doing and listen to your own honest feelings. Then you will find yourself on your way to where it is you should be. Ah, my own feelings and where I should be. Uh-oh. We're at the Chief Representative's office of Orb. Father, the Alliance made an announcement to... Yes, they demand the immediate resignation of Orb's current government, as well as the disarmament and dissolution of its armed forces. If these demands are not met within 48 hours, the Alliance will have no choice but to order Orb to be a supporter of Zaft. Then after that, the Alliance will invade Orb? They haven't said. It seems they're still concerned about their appearance. But regardless, if the Alliance continues to blockade the waters surrounding the island, Orb will not be able to sustain itself. They want Orb to go directly against its principles of refraining from involving itself in other nations' wars and find an enemy they decide for us. So we're just going to sit here and want to die? Isn't that exactly what the Alliance is hoping for? We will not simply do nothing. We are already evacuating the civilians as quickly as possible. Representative Izumi! Have the Alliance made their move yet? No, there's a swarm of invaders heading for Orb. The beauty of Gundam is once again, both sides are evil in their own right. Simple as that. Both are evil. Alright, let's destroy some invaders. An orchestrated cause. Episode 83. The invaders approaching the ship from dead ahead. The Alliance forces surrounding Orb have also begun engaging them. I thought there could be invaders left in this world, but why would they go towards Orb? Could it be that Dr. Satomi is still alive and he's the one leading them there? Even if he is, it doesn't look like their objective is to draw us out. You guys think about this crowd too much. When invaders appear, we crush them. And if Old Man Satomi shows up, we take him down too. That's it. But the situation is worse than just that. If the invaders make it to Onogoro Island, no, even if they don't, the Alliance will have just cause to deploy their forces. The pretense will matter after that. With Orb outnumbered, they'll have no choice but to surrender. Seems a bit too convenient to be mere coincidence. But if this is caused by Dr. Satomi, what reason would he have to help the Alliance? Now's not the time to think about that. Now when there are enemies right in front of us in desperate need of getting beaten up. We must reach Orb quickly. All units, eliminate all enemies within the combat zone. Let's go through with this. I do like the fact that now invaders, they'll probably slowly bring invaders in different parts of the world. The only world I could see where they wouldn't really do much is Zegapane's world because, well, the world is fully automated by, what's it called? By AI and stuff. That's the only world I can think of where anything can happen. Dang, they really want to do Daryon. Yeah, Zinkaiger! Why did it just use an SSR attack? All invaders in the combat zone have been eliminated. Good. Let's continue towards Orb. Yeah. Let's continue on. The representative's office. The Alliance forces have sent a notice saying they're deploying their mobile suits teams in order to protect Orb. What a farce. Their true motive is clear to overtake our country. Our forces and the Archangel are fighting hard, but their overwhelming numbers are wearing us down. If the Alliance turns against us, we don't have the strength to stand up to them. What's more is that if we resist, then we'll have given them reason to retaliate. So we just do nothing and let them take us over? If we need more numbers, then I'll go out there to fight. In war, you must assess the situation calmly. That kind of rash behavior will only lead to a wrong move in the end. But father... Still, it's the fact that we aren't getting anywhere like this, if it comes down to it. Also, there's one other thing to report. What is it? There's another force making its way to Orb, aside from the invaders. Oh yeah, Kira versus a behemoth. So my guess is what Leonardo Testarossa gave to Azrael was probably a behemoth to use against them. We were probably the invaders around here, but we've been fighting for a while now. My main battery is almost bottomed out. Still, we have to do this. The invaders outside of this area are being pushed back. We need to repair and resupply while we have the... New reading on the radar. They're not invaders or mobile suits. They're ASs. Wait, 3 behemoths? Those big ones are... Those are just like the guy Lando Bell fought in Tokyo. Yeah, they're large ASs equipped with landing drivers and heavy armor. Last I heard, they were used by terrorists, which means these guys aren't with the Alliance or Zaft. In other words, the Alliance's excuse to send... In other words, they're the Alliance's excuse to send armed forces to Onogoro Island. First, invaders show up, and now terrorists. Assuming Zaft has something to do with this, that would make it set up by the Alliance. The timing of it is just too good for it to be. The whole thing was a scheme they orchestrated. No way. What they're trying to do is be able to move their forces in without getting a third party like Mithril involved. It's more of a political maneuver than anything. It wouldn't surprise me if the one setting up this whole operation isn't actually a member of the military. Captain, unaffiliated AESs are continuing to enter our facility. This is bad. If they aren't invaders, then that means they're working with the Alliance. If their intention is to take over Or's vital facilities, there's nothing we can do to stop them. That's right, the Or forces will fight off the terrorists, tire themselves out, and then the Alliance will move in, all in the name of putting a stop to terrorism. Captain, there are two large airborne objects approaching the area. Even more terrorists? No, it's not. It's Londo Bell! What are they doing in this world again? We are a unit of unknown affiliation. Anyone that attempts to attack us will be deemed an enemy and subsequently eliminated. In addition, know that we have no affiliation with any force in this world and are acting at our own discretion. I repeat, anyone that attempts to attack us will be deemed an enemy and subsequently eliminated. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Katsuragi. Lieutenant Colonel Katsuragi, isn't it a bit odd to call ourselves a unit of unknown affiliation? Get better to keep things simple. Strike, return to ship immediately. Resupply at once. Sorry guys, handle this without me for a while. You fall back as well, Kira Yamato. Hey Sosuke, they told us not to send any transmissions to them. Our lines are being intercepted right now. Kira Yamato. Finding any more will be dangerous for you. Withdraw. Thanks, but I have to keep everyone safe, no matter what. As like Shiri said before, he's found his beliefs and he's sticking to them. As for my own. Dang, I forgot ASs are faster than anything. Actually, wait. How big is Zenkaio? It's an L size, that's why. And I normally use M size or S size units. Let's take down that savage. We got all them behemoths right there. So we're gonna have to murder all those behemoths. I wouldn't mind seeing it. The high map full attack would be able to break through a Lambda driver. It probably could. Then again, bullets can't. You never know. Okay, thank God they're not strong. We'll finish this guy off first. A big guy like that thinks he could hit a small thing like me. Oh yeah. And that's game. Enemy AS is approaching. 2 o'clock. They're trying to pin us down. All units destroy. What? 2 o'clock. Mobile suit approaching from the sky. 1 unit. Affiliation unknown. Is that unit the one that shot down on savages? Yes, ma'am. That's a Gundam? So Athrun's found his resolve finally. Took you forever. Let's continue on then. More autoplay, really? Alright, let's continue with this then. This is that Special Forces member Athrun. Do you read me, Fira? Freedom? That's you, isn't it, Kira? Athrun. Hey, Hito, does Kira know that guy? Yes, an old friend of his, and also the one who destroyed Kira's strike. So it's complicated. Gotcha. What are you doing here, Athrun? Has Zap decided to stick its nose into this battle too? I haven't received any specific military orders regarding this battle. This intervention is my decision alone. If so, that would be a severe violation of orders. I appreciate the backup, but I need to hear why you're really here. My orders from the plants are to recapture or otherwise destroy the freedom. But as of now, I have no intention of opposing you or your allies. I just want to talk to you and Athrun. Captain Ramus, recall the freedom to your ship and replenish its ammo while you can. I'd recommend the same for the Red Gundam as well. What the pilot of that mobile suit was, he's made it very apparent he hasn't come to fight us. It should be fine to let him and Kira speak. If we secure his cooperation, it will be a great help to us. Even a small amount of extra firepower would be in our best interest in a situation where anything could happen. Understood. And then that's true. It's only a matter of time before the Alliance forces invade. We need all the help we can get. Yeah, looks like Athrun finally found his resolve. The Archangel's confinement cell. Invaders and terrorists too. It's looking pretty grim out there. You sure you have the time to be coming down here? I only came here because it was the captain's order. Oh, then do you have some sort of use for me? We'll be engaging the Earth forces very shortly. But I thought Orb was supposed to be neutral. Why would they? Because Orb refused to side with the Earth forces. So now they're going to take it over. Take it over? There's an Earth forces fleet nearby. Soon they'll be sending their army here, in the name of suppressing terrorism or something. Is there even a chance they could win against that? You aren't going to fight them too, are you? I'm in charge of the Archangel CIC. Besides, Orb is my home. The captain wants you to fight with the Buster. And if I refuse, then you're free to go. If you aren't going to help, then just get off the ship. It does look grim, just like you said, but we'll make it through somehow. Just because you say all that. Sorry that it's ended up like this. I'll open the gate for you. They really don't care if I run off? There's one more thing I have to say. Athrun is coming aboard this ship. Duh. In the Archangel's hangar. So that's the situation. Yeah, I've been to the other worlds myself. I've seen a lot, and eventually found my way back to this one. But now, I know how bad it looks, but I'm almost positive there's no other choice. Because I believe that's what Kigali's father says is true. If Orb sides with the Earth forces, then they'll use it to their advantage and have them attack the plants. And the same thing would happen if they were to side with Zaft. The only difference would be which one was the enemy. Either way, there'd be no real change for the better. I can't let it go on like that, and that's the reason why. But you. I killed a comrade of yours, a friend, but I never even knew him, and it's not as if I wanted to kill him. And you killed Tali, but you never knew him either. You didn't want to kill him, right? I tried to kill you, though. So did I, Athrun. It'd be great if we lived in a world where we never had to fight. If only we could all live in that world forever. But conflict continues to spread. The other worlds were just like this too. So it's like this elsewhere too. If it goes on like this, the plants and the Earth will have no choice but to destroy each other. And that's why I decided to fight. I only wanted to protect others, but now that I've pulled the trigger, it's too late to go back. Kira. Will we have to fight each other again? In this situation, Orb has no chance of winning. You know that, don't you? Even so, just because the odds are against us doesn't mean we can give up fighting and just let them just let them do whatever they want to us. Now, does it? The important thing is to know what we're fighting for. That's why I'm going out there. Of course, I'd rather not fight if I can help it, but there are some things you can't protect without fighting. Well, I'm heading back to the Freedom. Thank you, Athrun. I'm glad I had this chance to talk to you. What we're fighting for, huh? Hey there, Athrun. The Arca. You got orders to take back the Freedom, right? Yeah. This isn't going very well. Us Zap soldiers intervening like this, still, I don't want him. I don't want any of them to die. Now that is amazing. For the first time, we agree on something. Hmm? With the Rock Highlands Bridge. How's the battle going in the other areas? Ord's forces are still fighting the terrorists, but so far they've yet to lose any vital facilities, and the Earth Alliance forces have yet to make their move. The hard part comes next. Once we show up, the Earth Alliance forces are going to officially consider us their enemy. We didn't have to fight them while approaching the ore because we descended from high altitude, but we could just say that we're only here to save ore from invaders and terrorists. I don't think they're dumb enough to buy that. Besides, even if they did, the Earth Alliance could just come up with another reason to invade Orb and take it later. We're past the point of being able to speak with them, and once we leave here, Orb will have no means to stand against them. Then, no matter what we do, there's absolutely no chance to win in the end? That's right. The most we can do now is save what we can. We just need to figure out what it is we can actually save. You're kidding. There's no possible way we can protect everything and everyone in Orb, no matter what. Although I know that's a bit harsh to say, that's how it is. Captain, we received the transmission from Representative Uzumi of Orb. Having this conversation a second time won't make it any easier. Put him through. Captain Bright Noah, I would like you to head to this designated point. In addition, there's a request I would make of you. Understood. And what is it you would like us to do? Well... So we're on to more invaders, basically. Satomi might appear? Nope, freedom. Freedom and justice. This is where I get the justice. Ironically, I got a pretty good amount of his SSR orbs. Episode 84, Into the Dawn Skies. Update from the Orb forces. Their mobile suits have eliminated the attacking ASs. Defense forces are falling back to resupply. Understood. Then we'll take over the defense here. Does that mean that the Earth Alliance forces are going to be moving in next? Officially, we're still considered a third party. They have plenty of pretext to begin their invasion. But what Representative Uzumi said before, that's why we're the bait. That's why we're being the bait. If the Earth Alliance focuses on us, then the civilians will be able to evacuate safely. Multiple high energy readings are approaching from the sea. They're invaders. A group of invaders have emerged from the water. It's almost like they timed this. They showed up just at the right spot too. This wouldn't be possible for them without someone giving them orders. Yes, like Dr. Satomi. I told you it doesn't matter what the old man's got planned. It doesn't change what we're here to do. Let's go. All units, wipe out the invaders. And we gotta keep it in auto battle. I do wonder, I guess invaders are adaptable to anything. And you think about it, they're literally coming out from the water, which means they can easily breathe. They can breathe in space. Ugh. They're definitely one of the worst enemies that the Getters have had to face off against. But they're like in Super Raw Wars terms now, in the modern era, they're the most common. Which makes sense because Akira Kamiya, the original voice actor of Ryoma and them, he's old. They're gonna try and save him for special occasions when it comes to old-fashioned Getter. So I understand why they're using the Armageddon, and soon they'll probably be using Arc for time skip titles. I can understand why they're using Armageddon, because it's the coolest and it's the simplest. And if only we can get Armageddon and Mezenkaiser SKL in the same game. Not if only. Alright, takes care of them. All enemy readings in the combat zone have scratched that. More invaders approaching from 9 o'clock. I'll take care of them. Was that attack from the Archangel? No, it wasn't. Athrun. Both of us completely understood what you meant. That if there are things in this world that you want to protect, sometimes you have to fight for them. I'll follow your orders. Just make sure you don't shoot me in the back. Thank you, both of you. Captain, we received a message from Representative Usumi. He wants Londo Bell to proceed to Kaguya Island now. Inform him that we'll do just that. Convey the message to the rest of the ships as well. At last, we've... Yeah, sir. At last, it comes to the closing act. Captain, the Rock Island instructed us to head towards the mass driver on Kaguya Island. But why there? Good enough. It was on autoplay. At Zast Battleship's bridge. We'll stay and monitor the situation for a bit longer, after which we will return to Carpinteria. I'm sure you're restless being confined to this cramped ship ever since Panama. Just make do for a little bit longer. You seem somewhat distressed, Isaac. Would you prefer to jump into the battle yourself, now that Athrun and Diarca are there? No, I'm just concerned about what the otherworlder forces might be doing there. Yes, they come back at just the opportune time, haven't they? And with another new ship, no less. It seems they intend to keep bolstering their ranks with otherworld allies from here on. And if they are going to continue meddling in the affairs of our world, it only stands to reason that we seek allies of our own. Allies? You mean people like that Garon guy? His employer, to be more specific. That individual seems to be keeping a close watch on Londo Bell. Londo Bell. Did you hear that name, Flay Alistair? What the heck? Oh, did you get that name from Flay Alistair? Yes, that's right. What's the deal with that woman? If she's a prisoner, then shouldn't she be treated like one? It's more to fighting a war than merely shooting guns at each other, Isaac. Huh? Let's just say I'm looking for a key, and now I found it. At least I hope so. I wonder if they're going to repair the Double O Gundams at Orb. At the Orb representative's office. Are you telling us to flee from Orb? Captain Bright has already realized, as I'm sure you have as well, that Orb is already lost. It's only a matter of time before it falls. What are you saying, Father? Our people have been evacuated and will be taken care of elsewhere. The responsibility for what's left is ours to bear. But even if we must lose Orb, there are some things we must never give up. I believe the Earth Force's current actions are being guided by the leader of Blue Cosmos, Muruta Azriel. And Patrick Zala, a coordinator, now has the plants within his hands as their new leader. The way things are going now, the world will be trapped in a war between two forces that refuse to accept the existence of the other. Is this the future you want to see? If you desire to see a different world, take this small light of hope that we have kindled, and use it to set a course for a new future. It means taking a hard road yet again, but I'm sure you understand why it's necessary, Maroon Ramius. That light may be small, but it burns brightly. We have faith in it as well. Then, that is why you should head up into space and bring peace to not only this world, but others as well. Of course, Representative Uzumi. It is only natural to believe they'd get involved in some way or another. This is never going to be a simple affair. Is now the time to make use of our forces? I'm trying to minimize the losses sustained to the Earth Alliance forces, since my boys hadn't properly adjusted in time. But they're consolidating their forces around the mass driver. It's a pathetic and altogether pointless act of resistance. It's far too late for them to beg for forgiveness now. Still, I'm sure the other worlders don't really want to be enemies of the Earth Alliance. Even if they do have a few allies on their side, they can't hope to fight the majority of the world and come out on top. We have Shin Getter. We can. Then, regardless of how this all plays out, Orb is finished. We will continue watching from afar. So yeah, we get Athrun finally. Father, you have to come with us. I'm not leaving you behind. Do not let me make it say it again. Board the Kusanagi, quickly. But father, take this with you. But don't open it up until you've reached space. You can't just... You must attend to our responsibilities. You must attend to yours. But we're finished if we have no one left to carry on our hopes. Why can't you understand that? I leave Kigali to you, Kisaka. Sir, all units capable of flying on their own are to defend the mass driver until all ships have finished preparations for takeoff. Buster and air combat don't really go together. Sorry, but I'll have to sit this one out. Right. Athrun Zala, soldier of Zath, huh? She knew what would happen all along. Athrun? I always thought you were supposed to follow the orders of your nation and fight the enemy with all your strength. That there was no other way. That it had to be done to end the war quickly. What is it we should really be fighting against? And how exactly are we supposed to do that? Athrun. We can search for that answer together, and there are plenty of good friends to help us along the way. Got that right. They're a real pain as enemies, but as allies, they're more than reliable. Yes, you're right. What's the Earth Alliance fleet doing? They still aren't showing any signs of movement. Maybe they aren't concerned about us, but there's no way they ignore the Archangel at least. And if that's the case... Multiple high energy readings from 3 o'clock. Invaders! All units, prevent the enemies from approaching the mass driver. Hold up. Okay, we're good. Dang it. Stupid mouse. And then with that, yeah, it'll only weaken them. That should have taken care of all the objectives right there, so we'll just kill these guys off quickly. Yeah. We're basically murdering everything. Now with one last invader left. Captain Bright, the preparations for the mass driver are completed. Understood. All units, return to your ships immediately. You two, hurry up and come back as well. More enemies are on their way. I'll keep protecting the mass driver until the Archangel takes off. The same goes for me. The Freedom and Justice aren't your average mobile suits. I think they'll manage with cutting it close. Very well. Both of you, be mindful of your timing. Roger. Time is takeoff. Preparations are finished. Then, Captain Bright, we'll go on ahead and ensure that our destination is safe. Please do. Launch Thomas. Launch the Rock Lab next. High energy source is approaching for 3 o'clock. It's not an invader. Dr. Sao told me to get a dragon. How deplorable to see a lot of you huddled together as you flee with your tails between your legs. I knew it. He really was the one pulling the strings out there. I figured you'd show up, old man. Wait, you go outside now. Shingetter can break through the atmosphere all on its own. Just leave it to us. Why, how very gallant of you, Ryoma. Keep quiet, and while you're at it, stay right where you are. Imbeciles, you aren't what I'm here for. This is bad. Captain, We can't afford to let the takeoff be interrupted now. We'll have to let Ryoma and the others handle this. The ship's ready for takeoff. Representative Uzumi. It's up to you now, Captain Bright. Launch the Rock ILM! We're out of time. Freedom, justice. Return to the ship immediately. Athrun. The Kusanagi still isn't ready to launch. Right, I know. Kira. Have the archangel go on ahead. We'll join up with Kusanagi. Alright. But you have to go to get space together with Kusanagi. Yes, we will. Archangel, take off. Old man, I'm not just gonna let you get away with whatever you're planning. I had no need of cowards who flee for their lives. What? Then could the doctor's objective be... Only the Kusanagi remains. Father! Stop giving me that look. It doesn't suit the daughter of the Lion of Orb. But... You're leaving your father, but you'll not be alone. Huh? I feel very fortunate to have been your father. Father! Kira, you have to get to the Kusanagi. Shingeru is more than a match for this old fart. Sorry, it's up to you from here on. Let's go, Athrun. Right. Launch the Kusanagi. Father! Father! Oh, that's cute. She even has an entire portrait of herself crying. That's cute. Now it doesn't matter if you reach the last driver. That was was taking it over what you're really after, Doctor? Why, I don't know what you mean. Who was it? Who put you up to this? You want to go after those friends of yours? I wouldn't mind letting you go this time. That's good enough for me. You're not getting your hands on the mass driver. The seeds have flown. Good. We can't leave Orb, or this world, in the hands of those bastards. What? The mass driver. Was it an attack? Where'd it come from? No. This was the extent of Representative Uzumi's resolve. They destroyed it. Yeah, I get all three though. Dang. They really destroyed it. They self-destructed not only the mass driver, but Morgan Road as well. Ugh. This is the worst possible outcome. Is it because of your plan driving him into a corner that Zuinara Atha resorted to such desperate measures? He would have done this no matter what happened. All we need now is to acquire another mass driver. I think the one in Victoria will do quite nicely. We're at the bridge. Captain, Shin Getter has returned to the ship. Apparently Getter Dragon left shortly after the mass driver's destruction. I see. And it would appear Dr. Satomi has some sort of involvement with the Earth Alliance. Or rather, the ones puppeteering them from the shadows. Why on earth is he working with people from another world? If his goal is to have the invaders multiply in this world, I suppose that's an effective way to go about it, but still. Anyone who cooperates with Dr. Satomi is putting themselves at considerable risk. Of course, whether or not they even know that is another matter. At any rate, we need to determine our next... A transmission from Dido? Yes, it seems our next destination has been decided. Which means it's probably in the Zegapane world or in the world we left before. That explains the Shin Getter part right there, though. Why we had Shin Getter. And we got Athrun now. But yeah, so each one is slowly explained. That's why we got this one, these two, and this one's part of the story. So it's like it's up to this part, which we'll deal with later. That was quite the long part, so I did 2 stages at once instead of like 1. So thank you all for watching. Until the next part, goodbye.